Hey guys, today I want to talk to you a little bit about starting over. There's always been a time in our life where either after we got divorced, after a bad breakup, many different reasons where we sit down and say, hey, we need to start over. Some people call that a midlife crisis. Maybe that happened when you're in your 40s or 30s or your 50s. But now that we're close to retirement, we're in our early 60s. We're getting really close to our retirement age. We're working, we're staying busy, we're staying active, and maybe we're alone. Maybe you're alone. Maybe you're widowed. Maybe you've been divorced. For whatever reason, you're by yourself now, and you're contemplating many different things going through your mind. You're working, maybe you're going to church on the weekend, you're staying busy during the day. But when you get home in the evening, you get home in the late afternoon, you sit on the couch or you sit on the chair, you start watching YouTube, your favorite video. Maybe you're watching this video, but things start to go through our mind. And I remember when I was living alone in Las Vegas, I used to come home from work and I would open the door and I knew there was nobody there. I've lived by myself for 10 years, but there came a point where I opened that door and I yelled, honey, I'm home, knowing that there was nobody there to be with. I lived alone and it was lonely at night. When nighttime comes, that's when you feel the loneliness and you're sitting on that couch and you're looking around, you've had dinner, the kids don't call you no more. Maybe you get a phone call on your birthday, maybe a quick visit on the holidays around Christmas, but basically you're alone in life and you're sitting there wondering, is this all there is to life? I'm 60, I'm still feeling good, I'm getting ready to retire. What do I have to look forward to in retirement? Am I coming home to the same routine every day? And you just start looking around and you say to yourself, there's got to be more to life than just this. Going out during the day, coming home, sitting by myself, turning on the TV. Maybe there's a good ball game on, maybe it's YouTube, who knows? Or you fantasize about wanting to move and start over, start something new, in a new country, maybe a new state even. But a lot of us are thinking, wow, can I start over? Can I be like Mike? Can I be like Paul? Are there other bloggers that you watch that you say, man, they seem to have a pretty good life? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But in fantasy land, where when we're sitting at home, we're sitting in our lazy boy, our recliner, we got a beer or we got a cup of coffee for us non-drinkers, we start to think there has to be more to life than just this. Then the slow fade starts. This is when like turning 60, and it's not physically challenging to get old and get into retirement age. It's emotionally challenging. There's things that you want to do in life, but emotionally it gets harder because you're by yourself. You're not in a hurry, and society as a whole doesn't respect us as we get older. We sort of become someone that's in the way of everybody else. You go to the grocery store, you're pushing your cart down the aisle, you're looking at things, and you're picking out something to buy. But here comes a young couple or a younger person who's in a big rush, and they just reach over you, excuse me, and they grab their things and they fly by. You get to the checkout aisle, and people are asking to get in front of you because they're in a hurry. They say, excuse me, sir, do you mind if I cut in front of you? I'm in a hurry. They don't respect that you have anything to do in your life, and maybe you don't. Maybe you're not in that hurry. And yeah, go ahead. Common decency, you let them go. But there's no respect for you once you get older. Loneliness starts to creep in. Like I said, maybe you're widowed or divorced and you're lonely. You've been with somebody for a long, long time. And then maybe just a few years ago, you're alone, and that loneliness really sets in. You notice people aren't asking you for advice anymore. You're the old man in the neighborhood. Nobody wants to ask you anything. You don't know nothing. What you know is ancient history. They forget about all the life lessons you've learned, the life experiences that you have. And we're being thrown aside to the side of the road because we're older and we're burdened on society now. Everybody's talking about, Social Security is in trouble because there's so many old people. Yeah, if there weren't any old people, there wouldn't be a Social Security problem. So society as a whole is treating us like we're a burden. and you start to feel your confidence eroding away. You start feeling like your best days are behind you. And you know deep inside you have many good days left in you. Yes, you can't climb a mountain. Yes, you can't run a marathon. Well, maybe some of you can, but I can't. But I still have many good days in front of me. I'm still working. You're in your 60s and you're still strong. Starting to feel like a ghost to society because nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. You're just another old guy down the street. So you're sitting on the couch, you're watching YouTube, and you see the palm trees, and you're going, man, can I start over my life? Can I take everything that I've worked for my whole life, all my savings, and, just go ahead and change, make a dramatic change, look at retiring at 62 and getting your social security and moving to a different country. I'm not saying the Philippines itself, but there's so many places that you can go and you can move and you can enjoy. People go to Mexico, they go to Europe, they go to South America, they go to Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Philippines, and you can do it starting over. You just have to have the mental toughness and the courage to move on with your life. Starting over is hard. It's a big decision and it's something we have to face. Are we going to stay at home? Are we going to stay on the couch and just get older and older and less relevant to society? Or do we want to go somewhere where we might make a difference? Yeah, people say go do charity, go help the church, go build, help somebody fix their house up. Yeah, there's many things you can do in life to show that you're a positive person on society, that you're a benefit to society. But people don't want that. People don't want that. They want your money. Yeah, they want your labor, but they don't want to get to know you as a person. And that's what you need when you start over. You have to meet people who want to know you as a person. And when you change venues, when you change where you live, and you make that big step, you just say, I'm going to go and do it. Your family's going to hold it against you. Your family's going to reach out and say, hey, you can't go by yourself. Nobody's going to take care of you. Well, nobody's been taking care of me all along. Nobody's here helping me wash the dishes. No one's here cooking my meals. Nobody's here helping me pay my bills but myself. So, what am I missing that there's nobody to take care of me? Oh, you're going to get scammed. You don't know what you're doing. They're going to take advantage of you. Well, when I sat on the couch in Nevada, the phone would ring. And every other phone call was a scammer, telling me, oh, your social security account is in jeopardy. You're going to be arrested if you don't do this. Or somebody saying they're the bank. We need your PIN code and your password to double check your account. People are always trying to scam you everywhere. And the biggest scams happen in the US because the Americans have the most money. Older people, elderly scams happen all the time, and they happen back home. They happen back home in the Western countries where old people don't start over their life. They stay on the couch and they get older and older and more lonely. And they get so lonely that when they do get a scam phone call, they might try to keep that person on the line so they have someone to talk to. You know, there's a TV show called American Greed, I believe it was called. And they were talking about all these romantic scams that came out of Jamaica into the US. And it was always men scamming women. At least this episode was. And this lady was scammed out of $150,000. I don't know the exact amount, but it was an outrageous amount of money. It was life-changing money to someone my age or her age. She was even older than me. And when she was talking to the reporter at the end, she goes, even though I lost all that money, I really do miss talking to him. And she means the scammer because she was so lonely that no one talked to her, that she was waiting his phone call every day. She needed somebody to call her and comfort her and make her feel like she was necessary. And she was feeling that she was important to this person because she was helping them out financially. The burden of money wasn't there anymore. You can't take it with you. So when your family says to you, oh, you're going to get scammed, well, you're going to get scammed back in the US also. You have to keep your wits about you, your life skills, your street smarts to not get scammed in the US, in the Philippines, anywhere you go in the world. People are always trying to separate you from your money. That isn't the reason that they don't want you to leave. The reason they don't want you to leave is they believe that you cannot take care of yourself. You know, you're the one who has been taking care of yourself all along, and nobody has been coming over to help you. And now you're looking down the rabbit hole. You're trying to find somewhere to go, and the Philippines pops up because you're watching my video. The Philippines pops up, and you're looking at the palm trees. You're looking at younger women. I'm not saying, you know, these young women. I'm saying there's beautiful, nice, loving women in their late 30s, their 40s, even their 50s, that you can have a great life with. That is starting to appeal to you as something that you can do. So now you're starting to think, should I change my life? Should I start over? Can I make the move? And the big thing here in making the move is you have to be mentally prepared to make that move. I talk about this a lot, but you need to be mentally prepared. You have to sit on that couch night after night after night and think about it. Is this the life I want? Do I want to grow old right here doing this, doing the same thing day in and day out? You know, definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different outcome. Well, that's what the insanity of just growing old and having fears of not wanting to change things. You know, it isn't that you don't want to change. You're just fearful of the change. What if I fail? What if I fail? What if you fail? What if you make the move to the Philippines and you fail and you just you blow your money, some young girl takes you for a couple $1,000, you don't like it, you know, it's just terrible for you and you want to go back to the safety and comfort of your home. Well, that's something for you to decide. And that's what a trip to the Philippines does, an experimental trip, or boots on the ground, as some people call it, an exploratory trip. Get out of the house, get on a plane, come here and take a vacation. Take 30 days, take 60 days. Better yet, buy a one-way ticket. Don't sell everything yet. Buy a one-way ticket and come here and enjoy yourself. Don't have a deadline that you only have X amount of days until you go back. If you're retired, you know, if you have a job, it's a whole different thing. But you can get another job when you go back. You can give up that job and get another job when you go back. You can always work if you're healthy enough. But come here, or wherever you decide is a new destination for you, a new place to go. Try it out. Get on the plane, meet expats, meet people. I've seen people here who have been here like 4 or 5 months and they can't stand it. They got to go back. And I understand every reason there is. It isn't financial, it isn't emotional. They just don't like it. You know, they're used to the Western style living, they're used to their lifestyle. They like the idea of their home, their couch, watching certain shows, and the routine and safety of knowing everybody and everything. You know, they know how to do their banking. They know where the post office is. They know how to do everything, how to pay an electric bill. When you come here, everything is a brand new adventure. And that's what starting over is. Starting over is a new adventure. You have to learn all these things. Don't take it as being something bad that, oh my God, I got to learn how to deal with immigration. Oh my God, I got to learn how to bank online. I got to learn how to transfer money. They're going to rob me in the market. They charge a Filipina 20 pesos for this, but they charge me 22 pesos. The skin tax. Don't let all that stuff bother you about little things. Enjoy life when you get here. Learn how to live in the Philippines or wherever you go. Learn how to handle the market. Learn how to handle the traffic. Learn how to handle life in general. Make friends. You know, you'll be here. And I know when I was in the US, there was less people I would talk to when I wasn't working or at work than I talk to now. Almost every morning, there's somebody to talk to. Somebody contacts me, another expat, a friend, and we talk for a half hour or an hour. Maybe there's two of them. Maybe there's three in a course of a morning. And then when I go out for coffee, there's someone to meet and someone to talk to. It's somebody different. The day is busy. And this has nothing to do with having a girlfriend. This is life. You can live by yourself. You don't have to get that hottie young girl. But if you do, good for you. But the life you have here can be fully enjoyed. The Philippine people and the Philippine government wants us to be here if we're good people. Don't come here as a jerk, but if you're a good person, you can come here. So if you're ready to make that big change, if you want to start over, just start planning and start planning that trip. When I came here to the Philippines, I had a full agenda of things I wanted to do. But in the back of my mind, I just wanted a good, solid companion. And after I was here a little while, I decided I'm going to look for that one girl who can make me happy all the time. And I was just going to settle down. I was going to plant my seed somewhere, seed meaning my feet, my roots, and just grow in a community. And I chose Dumaguete, and I chose to start doing YouTube as a great hobby, staying busy. You can do the same, guys. I encourage everybody to pick up a camera, pick up their cell phone, make some videos. If it's just for yourself, your family to see what you're doing, maybe some past coworkers, because I know I showed videos to a few of my coworkers when I was walking down the beach. And you know what they said to me? Mike, you're in paradise. And I knew I was in paradise. I got tired of walking that beach. I got tired of the same paradise 24/7, and I wanted to be on a different island. But I still made the move. Guys, there's so much left in your life to do things. Starting over should be something on your mind. Don't get so old on that couch that you can never change. Do something before it's too late. Don't let life pass you by. You still have many, many more years. If you're 60, you still got 25 more years of your life. If you're 70, you got, 15, 20 more years of your life. You have plenty of time to enjoy sitting at home on the couch, letting life go by with nobody visiting you, living a lonely life. Don't do it. Make the decision. It's up to you. Starting over is a good thing. And the worst thing is letting people talk you out of coming. Don't let them talk you out of going on a trip. If you're going to Portugal or you're going to Egypt to see the pyramids, or you want to go to Australia, or you want to go to Greenland, wherever you want to go there. If you want to explore, you have the time. You've worked your whole life. You deserve whatever you do. You don't have to leave stuff for the kids. Those days are long gone where people would sit around and say, oh, I have to leave something for my children. But guys, you have to decide what you want to do. It's your life. You know your finances. You know the level of income you have. The only thing that I will accept to hold somebody back is their health. Health issues, you shouldn't be traveling on. Don't risk your life with health issues. But at some point, you have to determine, I need to live my life. And, you have to make that decision. Starting over is great. It was a great feeling. It worked out for me. I needed to start over. I planned it for a couple of years. COVID made me plan it a couple more years that were wasted. But here I am. I'm in the Philippines. I have a beautiful wife. I have a nice place to live. We're building a home. All of these things I wasn't planning on. But I'm just living life one day after another, and life is going good. Making friends, doing things, staying busy, seeing things, traveling the Philippines. If I wanted to, it's easy to go travel and visit Vietnam or Thailand or Malaysia. But right now, 71 years old in a month, enjoying my life. Guys, you can do it too. You can start over and have a great life. Guys, you still have time. You still matter. You have some great stories still to tell. This channel is for guys like me and you who are older, who want to enjoy their life, starting over, a new adventure. Guys, stay tuned to Mike's Philippine Retirement. We're going to talk more about decisions we have to make when we get older, life at 70, life at 65, everything involved with making the change, moving to a new country, and how wonderful it can be, and the feeling you have, the stress free life you can have here. No more worries for bills. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time.